Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just want to say a major thank you to everyone that's been supporting this channel, liking the videos, sharing the videos, commenting under the videos. I just want to say thank you so much for showing the love. I know that 2021 has so much in store for you guys. I am so excited to share with you guys some new content, new guests, new conversations. So just stay tuned for more. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited for the guest that we have today. We have the beautiful Tawonga. Tawonga, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, beautiful?
I am all right. Thank you so much. So now this girl is not just a model.
Oh, stop.
I mean, she's gorgeous and she's got the body for it, but she's not just a model. This girl is a fitness coach, and you've just started your business, Sculpted by T. Tell me about that. What's the inspiration behind Sculpted by T?
Sculpted by T. Goodness gracious, where do we start? Well, basically, last year I was fasting and I was talking to God and I was just asking him, like, what is my purpose?
Right.
What do you want from me? And I originally started a business where I wanted to mentor young women, and it was all about mindset and coaching. But then things just... I'd lost confidence in myself.
Right.
Things just happened.
Yeah.
And then he reignited that passion the end of last year, and I remembered that fitness is also my passion.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that are out here doing like mentorship, mindset coaching, teaching young women how to just grow and be better, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of practical stuff that you can physically do that change your routines and your habits and everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, fitness is something that when I started implementing in my life, it really changed everything.
Yeah.
From my confidence to just my discipline to how I view myself, how I view other
Right.
people, how I focus.
Right.
And it's something that's changed my life.
Yeah.
But not only that, I also have grown up around African women. I
Yeah.
know that none of us like to exercise. You will see a white woman and her child and her dog walking every morning, but we're our aunties. Our aunties are sitting down. So I was like, no, this has to change. Not only that, but I was dating this guy and he was just really toxic.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was just like, yeah, no, I date black women because I want to marry a black woman, but I prefer white women because they take care of their bodies. And this was years ago. But
Yeah. That triggered her.
It just triggered
Hit somewhere.
me. I know.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Let me show you.
Let me show you real quick. We're going to fix that, honey. Yeah, so I was like, okay, cool. Sculpted by T is a combination of everything. It's building women's confidence up because I
Right.
believe, like, when you're confident, you can conquer things. When you
Amen.
start believing in yourself. Like, you know how you feel when you have a new dress, when you have a new
Yes.
hairdo, all that good
And it
stuff.
fits just right.
And it fits just right. You're like, I could conquer the world. You walk in
Honey,
rooms with
yes.
your Hi, exactly. So I was like, if I can do that, but fix people, not fix people, but help people
Help them,
internally, because you can change your hair, you can change your clothes, but if
Yeah.
you don't fix that thing that's broken inside of you, you're not going to do anything.
That's so
and
true.
fitness is one of those sources that helps shape people. So I was like, cool. That's an avenue that I can do a lot of things, and I
Yeah.
love encouraging people. I feel like God put me on this earth to be a cheerleader. I love
That's
just
so
hyping
good. That's
people up.
beautiful.
Yeah, so
I
was
love
like,
that.
Fitness is a way to incorporate all of my passions and my goals
Yeah.
and visions in one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we are. Hopefully, I just started.
Yeah.
So I just started my program. I'm in week 2 of my first program with the girls, and it's crazy to see how many people are actually committed
Yeah.
and dedicated, and it's a lot of small steps every day of changing people's minds
Right.
and reminding them about their whys and building discipline, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't expect these results. But
Yeah, I just want to say she's not lying about being a cheerleader, because I've been seeing her in people's comments like, yes, you go, girl, yes, you go, sir. Like, I'm like,
did.
she actually means that. Now, you mentioned that discipline was one of the things that you got out of, kind of pursuing your fitness journey, and that's also one of the core values of Sculpted by T.
Yeah.
So with, I've seen your social media, and you do workouts at home and stuff, and for some people they feel like to stay disciplined they have to go to the gym, because some people are like, well, as long as I keep thinking like my money's going into there,
Yeah.
I will go.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't really last long
Yeah.
before you're like,
Exactly.
forget the money, I don't want to go
Exactly.
anymore. So how do you keep yourself disciplined?
I think for me it was because I originally never touched the gym. I was scared of the gym. I was like, there's too
Really?
many. I only started going to the gym last year. So I've been working out for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
And I only started going to the gym because of my boyfriend. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So all this while it's been
It's
at
just
home.
been at home. So
Oh my goodness.
I changed I was on a mission to like, I couldn't afford the gym
Yeah.
at that age.
Yeah.
And 2, I was too scared. So I was like, how can I get the goals that I want to do?
Exactly.
But at home.
Yeah.
And then that kind of based the whole journey of like no excuses. That makes sense.
Wow.
Because people have excuses and they're like, oh, I can't afford the gym.
Girl,
so
I
can't
do.
go to the gym.
I know. I got tons of excuses.
Exactly.
Even when you can't afford the gym, you still got another excuse.
Exactly. And
I'll be like, I'll start next month. That's when my motivation will come back. I'm like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's the beginning of something
Literally.
is when I start.
People are like, I have my period, I'll start next week. And lots of different things. So for myself, I wanted to eliminate excuses. That's where discipline came from.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I watched this motivational video this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, you have all the excuses, but do it anyway.
Yeah.
It's called do it anyway, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So it's like, okay, I can't afford the gym and I can't work out.
Exactly.
Do it anyway.
Yeah.
Where can you do it?
Yeah.
And it started off as like a small thing, like just doing squats every morning,
Mm-hmm.
or every time I go to the toilet, because you have to sit down, do your squats.
Yeah.
If I'm in the bathroom, I'll just start doing calf raises or like leg stuff. Little things every now and
Wow.
then to mentally put your brain in that atmosphere where it's like, yes, there are excuses, but I know what I need to do, and that's
Yeah.
where the discipline comes. And then
Wow, I
from
love
then on,
that.
it kind of just affected and influenced every other part of my life, from like school to literally anything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It forced me, it fixes your mindset towards a lot of things, yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's so good.
no excuses.
That's so good.
It's actually funny that you mentioned that, because
Yeah.
this is week 2, so week 1, everyone's motivated, everyone's like, yes,
Honey,
I
when
can
you
do
start,
it.
you feel like, I got this.
Exactly. Everyone's got their
excited.
goals. They're like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And then week 2 comes along. Week 2.
Excuses.
honey.
I'm kind of sick.
I've heard the excuses. I love my girls. But I'm one of those people that like, I don't tolerate nonsense, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
good.
I'm learning how to not be blunt.
Yeah.
So when the girls are like, I don't have time, I'm like, but did you make time? No.
Oh.
Okay, so don't make excuses.
Oh,
Because you can't be
yeah.
like, oh, I didn't have time, but you woke up today
Yeah.
and you didn't actually prepare time for yourself to do this.
Yeah.
With anything in life, you're not gonna just wake up and magically get your to-do list done
Yeah.
if you haven't told yourself what you need to do on that
Yeah.
day, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been very interesting. It's discipline as always. It's
Right. Discipline is an interesting thing, because my fitness journey has been like a roller coaster. You know, one minute I'm like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
Motivation is up there,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do this,
Okay.
even at home.
Yeah.
Especially because I joined the gym
Yeah.
the week before COVID
Oh wow.
started.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
dead.
I was so motivated. I was going to the gym, you know. Then boom, they say, "Oh, gyms are gonna be closed. This is gonna be closed. This is gonna be."
And part of you is like relieved.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, "Oh, is that so?" I was like, well, this is out of my control.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about
Oh
it.
God. Okay. If you say so.
But still, I did try to keep working out at home.
Gotcha.
So every evening, after like eating everything,
Yeah.
I found that I could work out best in the
Yeah.
nighttime before
Yeah.
bed. I would work out, you
Yeah.
know, it went.
Good.
Then after 1 week, you know, I think you slack one day, you're bound to slack.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, I remember going back to the gym, I think after like 2 months.
Yeah. That's better
And
than me,
it's-
sis. Last year was horrid. Yeah.
And it's no longer the same. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you get used to working out, say, your legs and whatever.
Yeah.
But now going back, it's like you get sore again.
Yeah.
You don't understand it. You're like, but I've done this before.
But I've done this before.
Why am I sore?
Honestly.
But anyway, talking of your girls,
Yeah.
According to your page, you know, Sculpted by T is targeted at helping women become the best version of themselves. Now, why is your target audience women? Because there's also pressures as well for women to be this particular body type, to be considered attractive or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So why is your program targeted towards women?
Towards women.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I love women. I feel like
Yeah.
God purposes in life. One of those things that's always been on my heart is just uplifting women.
Yes.
And I feel like, child, I grew up around a lot of guys, and my guy best friends would just say a lot of stuff, and I'd be hearing them. I'm like, the way you guys think about females is absolutely crazy, but we have so much pressure on ourselves
Yeah.
to either look a certain way, to be a certain way. We gotta be wives this way, we gotta be daughters this way.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest daughter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the oldest child. That comes with its own pressure. I just know how much pressure we have on ourselves, and just society in general. And I wanted to be a voice of inspiration that I didn't have, if that makes sense.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I grew up, it wasn't really about like body shapes and body images. It was just about building confidence. That's where it all started, to be honest. Because I will never be tall, slender, skinny, you know, like there's my body type, you've got your body type. Everyone has such different body types, but I feel like the world has pressurized us to try and look a certain
type of way.
And especially growing up before Instagram, before all this type of stuff, it was like, I grew up around white women, you know, there was only one type of look that a white woman had. You were either big or you were skinny, if that makes sense. There wasn't curvy, there wasn't all that type of stuff. So nowadays the younger generation have it better because they've got Instagram. Everybody's like, you've got a better community, if that makes sense. But I know that when I was growing up, I needed someone to be like, you are beautiful the way you are.
Exactly.
You can be better. I'm not excusing people and allowing people to just be stagnant. No, you can be your best self, but your best self looks like your best self, not that person's best self, if that makes sense. What else? Why women? Because I feel like we can conquer. I love men. You're great, cool. But us females, when we are confident and we are powerful and we believe in ourselves,
we can do so much.
We do so much. We can do so much. We are boss people. We carry children. We carry the house. We're out here working how many multiple jobs. Like, I've just watched the women in my life and just been so inspired. I'm like, there's so many women now that are growing up that don't understand their potential or lack confidence in themselves, if that makes sense. And a lot of it stems from body image, sadly. A lot of it stems from body image. So if I can do and play my part in helping fix that, then
body image is a big thing. It's a very big thing.
Very big thing.
And, you know, when it comes to, you know, when you're training people, how important is someone's mental state? Because what I've realized is, for me, because like you're saying, I didn't really grow up here, but I moved here in my teen years. So now you're sensitive to things like looks, appearance, things like that. And back then, and the thing is, it's funny, because back home, people would love the curvy figure, you know, that stuff. And I was skinny back home. So I didn't fit into like the image. And then I moved here with the mentality of like, I want to be curvy and whatever. And then now it's the opposite. I was just very confused. I was like, okay, so who do I fit? Like, you know, what kind of body do I have? But over time I gained weight. And then that really affected like my self-confidence and things like that. And I remember when I started trying to lose weight, it wasn't really about me being healthy. It was about me looking a certain type of way. So I realized literally when I joined the gym last year, before COVID hit, I realized that I wanted to love myself first the way I am. And me going to the gym would just be me trying to stay physically active. You know, trying to be healthy. Even like changing my diet as well, because I used to eat a lot of junk. But like trying to have some like, you know, fruits and veggies and whatever, but still being able to eat what I like as well. But I had to change my thinking because initially I hated myself. So I was trying to change myself so that, you know, because I was hoping that, you know, then someone will find me attractive and then I'll be liked or whatever. But over time I was like, you know what, I have to learn to be okay with this body so that when I get a new body I still have the same attitude, because there are people that like don't like themselves and they still lose the weight but they still hate themselves, you know. So how important is that mental state when people are trying to join your program? Because some people may be coming in like, I just hate myself and I'm just trying to love myself, and it's like loving yourself isn't really about to do with the physical. It's not about 100%. When I look this way then I'm gonna start loving myself. 100%. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because I used to talk to a friend of mine and I was talking about fashion, because I used to wear like really baggy things because I was like, oh, that's gonna like and then and then I remember me and her talking. She was like, you should buy stuff that shapes your body and makes it look good because everyone is different. So I literally remember, like, it's all a mental thing. Like, once you start to accept yourself and embrace yourself, the shape that you're in now, you can still pursue, like, fitness. You can still go to the gym. Because it's funny how people think that thick girls or big girls don't exercise. There are people that do exercise and they're very physically active, but they just look that way. That's just the way their body's set up. And just because someone is skinny doesn't mean they're healthy as well. So how important is the mental state?
Man, do not even get me started.
Let's get it started. Let's go.
Ooh, okay. It's been my own mental battle, first of all.
Yeah.
Because I started exercising purely for the sake of image as well. It wasn't about fitness.
Yeah.
It was about proving every guy when I was younger that didn't like me because of my image.
Yeah.
Child, when I tell you the things Anyway.
It's deep.
Woo! Growing up around white boys that comment on your body because you're different to all these other white girls, it affects you differently.
Yes.
Anyway, it was all about body image for me. I wanted to change my legs. I wanted to change this. I wanted to change that.
Yeah.
And it was like, even when I did change, I'll explain my journey.
Yeah.
So I started fitness and exercising in 2017. And then it was about body image and fixing myself. Then I got, my body goals. I got to that stage. And I got into a relationship and it was just toxic and everything.
Yeah.
And nothing changed internally. I was different on the outside.
Yeah.
Physically, more appealing, got more guys or whatever.
Yeah, and probably girls were envying you, like, oh my gosh.
Girls were like,
her.
you're so confident.
Yeah,
so
I want to feel like her, yeah.
Nothing changed. In fact, it probably made me feel worse about myself because I was like, there's nothing I can physically do to sort this out. It's all internal, if that makes sense.
Wow.
I would say the only time that I kind of really tackled the mental aspect of things was last year, where it's like you really have to love yourself, because last year I was probably my heaviest, and I went from being a really fit person, really abs, body sculpted, everything, to not my healthiest, if that makes sense. Junk food. I just looked my worst. And in that stage, I was like, not only am I bad or feeling bad about myself internally, but now I feel crappy about myself externally. And it's like, you really have to learn to love yourself. That's why Sculpted, one of our mottos is sculpt your mind while you sculpt your body. Because even if you sculpt your body, it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to affect or change if you don't fix your mentality about yourself. And I have a lot of women that are like skinny, very, very skinny, and don't exercise or whatever, and they're okay with it. And I'm like, no, the whole purpose of fitness is nothing to do with the way you look.
Exactly.
The additional stuff is how you look. Yeah. That's the bonus. But even then, it's like a curvy woman, even when she's exercising, she's going to be voluptuous. She's going to be curvy. Yeah. But she's going to learn that those curves are her beauty. Those things are what make her beautiful. Now she's going to start shopping for things that are snatched in her waist and make her hourglass pop more. Yeah. Now she's going to be looking at things that, show off her arms or her shoulder or her best features because that's what she likes about herself. Now she'll be wearing clothes with confidence instead of wearing things because she's trying to hide herself, like you were saying. Yeah. But it all starts with accepting yourself again, like I said. Like me now, I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be, and it's been a mental battle of being like, you're okay, you're not where you want to get, obviously. And it's kind of disappointing that you let yourself slack, but love yourself. You're still beautiful.
Very important.
Where you are now doesn't change the fact, doesn't change anything about you. You're still beautiful, you're still worthy, you're still the person that's meant to love you, if it's about attracting the opposite sex, he's gonna love you in this stage
regardless of how your body fluctuates.
You're gonna get pregnant, you're gonna lose weight,
you're gonna have stretch marks, exactly.
You're a body, you're changing, you're ever changing, you're ever growing, you're gonna have wrinkles. What are you gonna do when you have wrinkles? You gonna start being depressed? No. You have to learn to love yourself.
Accept them.
Exactly. So one of the things I want to incorporate eventually is like a mentorship little program while we exercise. So originally I wanted to do like a boot camp and then like a creative circle where we kind of speak positivity over ourselves and like be vulnerable about insecurities, because it's about breaking the stigma that we have about body image in our heads. We'll get to that eventually, but that's my mission, because I know I know how important it is to just stop, reflect on yourself and accept that, because nothing else will change here. There's a lot of girls that come to me, they're like, oh, can you help me get abs, or like, I can't wait to be sexy, all this type of stuff. And I'm like, homegirl, first of all, I cannot do any of that for you. You have to do it for yourself. And two, you have to love yourself right now, because it's not gonna work.
I think I'll come to you and be like, can you help me become the best version of myself? Because I know I got it in me. I just need some pushes, because I swear, you know how you were saying that you're gonna change, like you're trying to change yourself from being like super blunt and everything? I think you have to be blunt with me because I'm very difficult.
Okay,
like if you want to train me,
Yeah.
I'm very like once I give up,
Yeah.
I swear there's no bringing me back up.
Okay.
Like I'm just like I'm so done. My legs are sore. I
Yeah.
can't push anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just done. So I think it's really important. But I want to go back to in the beginning when you're talking about your spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
How important, especially when you're looking at self-love
Mm-hmm.
and spirituality.
Ooh.
How do you connect the two? Because, you know, when you look at Christians, I'm a Christian myself.
Yeah.
And I have struggled believing that I'm beautiful,
Mm.
believing that I'm worthy.
Yeah.
You know, but we have a God who's like,
Lord.
I formed you.
Lord.
I created you. You know, and you're
Yeah.
cursing my creation when you're
Right.
cursing yourself. So how do you connect the two, like your spirituality and also kind of like loving yourself? How do you make that work?
Oh my goodness, child. Listen, you're just bringing back flashbacks.
Yeah.
Last year was a really, really difficult time in my life.
Yeah.
I was in my most successful, happiest relationship
Mhm.
with my family, with my man, with myself,
Yeah.
everything. And then I got to a stage, I think it was about August, and everything just shattered internally.
Yeah.
Because God kind of stripped away everything that I was holding my self-worth to
Mhm.
and was like, you need to look at yourself and be like, you are worthy. Remove
Without-
everything.
yeah.
Without that man, without that body,
Yeah.
without this money, without everything, you are worthy.
Oh my
And
goodness.
It took, oh my gosh, I cried so much.
Yeah.
I had to stand in a mirror. Okay. So God blessed me with this human being in my life.
Mhm.
He called me and he did this thing where he wrote a bunch of Bible verses down and he was like, cool, we're going to go through this little self-love exercise. So I want you to stand in front of the mirror and I'm going to read a bunch of Bible verses to you.
Oh,
And I
that
just
is
want you-
beautiful.
I just
Wow.
want you to talk to yourself and as I speak what God has spoken over you, if that makes sense. It was very
Wow.
powerful. In that moment, a lot of things shattered.
Guys, please just take notes. Like I'm begging.
Yeah.
Please.
I highly, highly, highly recommend. So basically
Wow.
what I had to do was I just stood, it took like a whole hour and I was just crying and it was just God speaking love,
Girl,
speaking love
baby, them
over the
days.
things, literally. So basically I stood in front of the mirror
Yeah.
and then it was a bunch of Bible verses from Proverbs to everything
Yeah.
that God has basically spoken over us, especially
Yeah.
about us being women,
Yeah.
our worth,
Yeah.
everything. And realizing that at the end of the day, He's the one that designed you. He's the one that
Amen.
speaks that over you. He, like, at the end, you are gonna disappear. Your body, everything
Yeah.
that you have is gonna go. At the end of the day, He still made
Turn
you
back to
beautiful and
dust,
perfect.
yeah.
Exactly. And then another thing that helped was I wrote a list of all the things that I hated because the first step is accepting and acknowledging where you are. So you're never gonna start solving those problems of self-hate
Yeah.
if you don't acknowledge that you actually hate those things about yourself.
Yeah,
That
and
makes
that's the hardest
And
part
that
because
is
that's
so
where you
hard.
break down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it took admitting to myself that like I don't like the way you've made me. God.
Oof.
I wrote
Yeah.
it down and I was like, listen, I hate the fact that my hair is not growing this
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Or like I hate that this or I hate that and
Yeah.
you had to be so vulnerable.
Yeah.
I had to be so honest. And what made it the most impactful is I wasn't writing I hate my hair.
Mhm.
I hate this. It's God, I hate the way that you made me this way.
Mm.
Because then I'm speaking to him and I'm
Yeah.
telling him that I hate the way he's made me.
Mhm.
And then something switched internally and mentally because I'm like, how can I be telling God, the same person that made all the beautiful sunsets, that he was wrong when he was
Yeah.
making me?
Ooh.
If that makes sense.
Mhm.
It took me, because I love nature, so I love
Yeah.
journaling and I go out in front of nature. I'm like, God, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. And there was this quote that was circulating last year. It's like, how can the God that made the stars, the universe,
Mhm.
all the beauty of the world, make you and you think that there's something wrong with
There's
you?
a mistake, yeah.
There's a mistake with you. Yeah. So basically I was writing it down, I was just crying,
Yeah.
and as I was crying, God kept speaking.
Yeah.
God kept speaking. I'm like, I hate my hair. He's like,
Yeah.
that's the hair that your children are going to have. Are you going to say you hate your children's hair?
Oh.
Like, if the way you speak over yourself, are you going to speak to a younger person that way?
Yeah.
Are you going to speak to your daughter that way? Are you going to speak to your sister?
Yeah.
And it took me thinking about my sister. My sister came up to me and she's like, I can't wear lipstick. And I'm like, why? She's like, my lips are too big, so it's going to flaunt the size of my lips.
Oh my
and my
goodness.
heart shattered. I was like,
Oh my goodness.
you said what? Over your beautiful body? And she's
Excuse
so
you?
beautiful. She's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, first of all, hold on.
Hold on.
I'm like, you gonna say what?
Pause.
And I I just cried. I was like, how
Yeah.
can you talk to yourself that way? But then God was like, but that's how you speak of yourself times
Ooh.
10.
Yeah.
You're so much worse to yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, is this how God feels?
He can be blunt too.
God can be blunt. Oh,
God
he's
can
so
be very
blunt.
blunt. You gotta be ready for it.
Literally. He's like, that's you. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
A wake up call.
Yeah, and it took
Oh
that
my
pain
goodness. Yeah.
of seeing such a beautiful human being call
Yes.
themselves all these horrible things
Yeah.
for me to be like, this is how God feels
Mhm.
when I be like,
When
I
I do that
hate
to myself.
literally. Like, I put so much energy into creating you.
Mm-hmm.
I made this artwork.
And you're gonna curse
and
it?
You're gonna curse it.
Yeah.
And then he just kept giving me all these examples. And then I was like, cool, you're gonna have a daughter or a son.
Yeah.
They're gonna
have
come.
your features.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not even that. They're gonna come with artwork that they're so proud of.
Yeah.
Imagine if they're so proud of it and then you just shit on it all. So
Yeah.
You just crap on it. Yeah, and then it's like, and they start believing that, and they put so much energy and effort into that. How would that person be feeling and broken down? And basically he's like, this is what the world has done to you, but
Yeah.
I want you to still walk with that pride
Yeah.
in knowing that the pride in you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Lots of different examples, but basically he was just, I'm very stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
I
A
never.
lot of us are. Yep.
It takes a lot for me to learn a lesson, especially
Yeah.
when it's about myself.
Yeah.
So he has to put other people that I care about in situations for me to learn.
Yeah.
So that was a very, very intense wake up call. But moral of the story. I don't know if you've watched a video, but it's a video of a girl just on the ground crying. She's
Yeah.
just bawling and rocking her eyes out. And it's like, when you ask God to heal you,
Mhm.
he gonna heal you. And
Yeah.
it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
That's what last year was.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that you can't love God if you don't love yourself, because
That's
he made you.
facts.
And you can't love other people if you don't love yourself. I
Yeah.
know people say that and it sounds cliche, but it's actually
very
true,
true.
because how can you acknowledge beauty in other people and
Mhm.
pour love and just be a person of gratitude and affirmation and just joy when you're so negative to yourself?
Yeah.
I feel like, we hold ourselves back in that fact.
As you all know, education is key. So,
Education
make sure you hit her up. She has the experience. She has the knowledge. And you don't necessarily have to be like joining a program
yeah,
to
even if
ask
you
her
just-
questions. You
yeah.
can just go to her and say, hey, I'm struggling with this, or
Yeah.
I'm not understanding this.
Yeah.
Can you help me, figure it out and stuff? And she's in Perth. So if you live in Perth, come on, like hit her up and definitely look at the programs and see which one you think fits you best or
Yeah.
works with you best, and
Yeah.
just hit her up and let's see how that goes. And
Yeah.
hopefully on the page we'll see the growth and everything.
Yeah.
Seeing people just being involved. Ladies,
Yes.
you got your person here.
I train guys as well, but
Yeah.
not as frequently. But even if there's something that I don't offer you, I would love to cater to you. If
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yes.
So let me know if there's things that you like doing that I'm not qualified to be a swim teacher, but
Yeah.
I could organize a bunch of girls that want to swim together.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
community. It's all about community.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
So guys, just make sure that you keep up with her. I'm gonna put her Instagram, Facebook, everything. I'm gonna add it on so that you guys have easy access to her. So just make sure that you follow her, and that if you really want to see your fitness go to the next level, definitely look into getting her to help you achieve that. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. Until next time, bye.
Bye.